The Labor Relation Process by Shelby Gainous. Arbiters and discipline. The power of arbiters and decisions regarding discipline. Determine what constitutes the just cause for discipline. It establishes standard of proofs and evidence, the ability to review and modify or eliminate the penalty imposed by management when warranted. Employment. The employment at will doctrine. This refers to the presumption that employment is for an indefinite period of time and may be terminated either by employer or employee. This is the historical approach that courts have taken in intercepting employment relationships. Employee at will defined. Either party in the work relationship can sever the relationship at any time for any reason or no reason. The employment at will doctrine. Employment at will exceptions. Public policy. Wrongful discharge an employee for exercising a right under the law or for refusing to violate a federal, state, or local law at the direction of the employer. Implied contract. Wrongfully discharging an employee after entering into oral contract. Covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Wrongful discharging an employee without just cause or as an unjust act and doing it out of spite. Just cause principle. The criteria to meet the just cause discipline are as follows. There is convincing evidence that the grievant committed a disciplinary action or offense. The proper disciplinary action was taken for the offense committed. Discipline was not arbitrary or disciplinary to and similar in nature to the discipline in certain circumstances. Just cause principle. 7 factors that comprise the just cause. The employee knew of the company's policy. The company's policy was reasonable. The companies investigated to determine that the employee violated the policy. The investigation was fair and objective. Substantial evidence existed of the employee's violation of the policy. The company's policy was consistently applied. The discipline was reasonable and proportional. The punishment fit the crime. The purpose of discipline. Discipline improves by setting an example for what appropriate behavior should be taken, transmitting the rules, prompting efficient production, maintaining respect for the supervisor, correcting employee behavior. Work rules on discipline. There are certain requirements for work rules. Reasonable in action, necessary to operate a safe and orderly business, clearly stated, provides an understandable example of behavior, states consequences if the rules are broken. One will be punished or written up if they do not follow the rules that are given. Consistent application of the rules. Rules apply to all, and all employees should be held accountable for their actions. Work rules on discipline. Progressive discipline. The application of penalties for repeated identical offenses. One will be punished or dismissed if they cannot follow the rules and regulations. An oral warning, written warning, suspension, discharge. Work rules on discipline. Last chance agreements. A written agreement will be issued which requires an employee's future compliance with work behavior to avoid dismissal. Agreement requires an arbiter to consider the agreement and whether its terms are violated if a discharge due to application of the agreement is appealed to arbitration. Oral warning. is an informal record is made of the verbal warning by the supervisor and put in the employee's department file. A written warning is a documented formal conversation between a supervisor and an employee about a disciplinary or performance problem. Work suspension occurs when a business manager or supervisor deems an action of an employee, whether intentional or unintentional, to be a violation of policy that should result in a course of punishment, and when the employee's absence during the suspension period does not affect the company. Being discharged from your job means you've been fired. This is a permanent condition where your employee has served employment dealings with you.